Shanghai, huh? 5 must-go places, you say. All right, I'm intrigued. Let's unpack this list. This time on the deep dive, we're swapping postcards for passport stamps and diving deep into what makes Shanghai tick.
Love it. Shanghai is one of those cities that always has more to discover.
Totally. We're talking hidden histories, secret gardens, a Jade Buddha, and a tower that's seriously pushing skyline boundaries, ready to go beyond the guidebook.
Absolutely. Let's dive in.
First up, the Bund. Classic Shanghai. Waterfront views, those iconic buildings. But it's more than just a pretty picture, right? The list mentions colonial architecture. What's the story there?
The architecture. Well, picture Shanghai in the late 19th, early 20th century. European powers, they wanted to make their mark, so they built these grand, imposing structures, each one a testament to their influence. That's why you see this fascinating blend of architectural styles. Victorian flourishes right alongside Art Deco masterpieces.
It's like a history lesson etched into the skyline.
Exactly, and it's a reminder of how Shanghai became this global crossroads, a melting pot of cultures and architectural influences.
Okay, so next time I'm strolling along the Bund, I'm channeling my inner historian. What about Yew Garden? It's described as this tranquil oasis in the heart of the city, filled with pavilions and ponds and rockeries. But what am I actually looking at?
Great question. It's easy to get swept up in the beauty, but Yew Garden is so much more than just a pretty park. It's a carefully curated landscape designed to reflect traditional Chinese philosophy.
So, like, there's a deeper meaning behind all those elements. The pavilions, the water, the rockeries.
Exactly. Take the pavilions, for example. They're not just random structures. Each one served a purpose. Some were designed for quiet reflection, others for lively gatherings, even for musical performances. And then you have the water, a symbol of harmony and the flow of life, winding its way through the garden.
I'm starting to think I need a whole separate deep dive just to scratch the surface of Yew Garden.
Well, that's the beauty of it, right? You can spend hours exploring, uncovering new layers of meaning with every visit. Plus, it's amazing to think this tranquil haven has survived for centuries, even as Shanghai transformed into this bustling metropolis.
That's wild. Okay, from tranquil gardens to, well, the complete opposite. The Shanghai Tower, it's on the list, and it's massive. Just how tall are we talking?
It's a giant, no question, 632 meters. To put that into perspective, that's like stacking 3 Eiffel Towers on top of each other.
3 Eiffel Towers. I'd need a whole extra suitcase just for the souvenirs I'd buy at that height. Jokes aside, that is incredible, but we know it's got amazing views. Tell me something I wouldn't expect about the Shanghai Tower.
It's not just a pretty face, if you will. The Shanghai Tower is incredibly innovative in its sustainability efforts.
Oh, how so?
Well, for starters, it has these massive wind turbines at the top, generating a significant chunk of its own electricity. Then you've got the rainwater collection system, which they use for irrigation and flushing toilets, and the facade, a double-layered skin that helps regulate temperature and reduce energy consumption.
So it's like a skyscraper-sized science experiment.
In a way, yeah, it's pushing the boundaries of sustainable architecture, which is pretty exciting when you think about the future of cities.
And speaking of pushing boundaries, let's talk about the Jade Buddha Temple. The list mentions rare jade statues. What's so special about them?
It's all about the jade, really. These statues are crafted primarily from nephrite jade. It's a type of jade known for its incredible translucency and vibrant green hues. It's often sourced from Myanmar, and it was highly prized, even in ancient times.
Oh, wow. So not just any old jade. So they're beautiful and historically significant? What else?
Think about the skill it took to create those statues. Imagine transforming this incredibly hard, precious material into these incredibly intricate sculptures.
It's mind-blowing. The artistry involved, the dedication, it's incredible. The list describes the temple as incredibly peaceful. But how does that even work in a city as lively and, let's be honest, crowded as Shanghai?
That's a really interesting question, and I think the key is to observe. Watch how locals interact with the temple. Yes, it's a place of worship, but it's also a community space, a place for quiet reflection, a refuge from the city's hustle and bustle.
A little slice of serenity in the urban jungle. I love that.
It's a good reminder that peace can be found even in the most unexpected places, if you just take the time to look for it.
All right, last but certainly not least, Nanjing Road. This is the big one, the ultimate shopping street. But how do we make sure we actually experience Nanjing Road and not just get swept up in the chaos?
You hit the nail on the head. To truly experience Nanjing Road, you've got to venture off the main drag.
Like, explore the side streets.
Exactly. Duck into those tiny alleyways, those little side streets. That's where you'll find the real hidden gems. Tiny tea houses, hole-in-the-wall eateries, those little shops selling handcrafted trinkets.
Those are always the best finds.
It's like stepping into a different side of Shanghai, a world away from the neon lights and big brand names.
Sounds like my kind of adventure.
And while you're at it, keep an eye out for Shengjin Mantou. They're these incredible pan-fried soup dumplings. You'll thank me later.
All right, that's going straight to the top of my must-try list. So we started with 5 must-go places in Shanghai, and look where we ended up.
Right. We've got secret histories, philosophical gardens, sustainable skyscrapers, jade treasures, and a whole lot of delicious food for thought.
This is why I love a good deep dive.
It's all about looking beyond the surface. Each of these places offers a glimpse into a different facet of Shanghai.
Shanghai is a city that rewards curiosity, for sure. Until next time on the deep dive, keep exploring.